presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
It is a gorgeous day for baseball here in Cleveland. Welcome to Progressive Field Game 2 in this three-game series featuring the Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. And today we celebrate one of the great pioneers of the game on Jackie Robinson Day. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here for Game 2 in the series. And Ron, I know a special day for you, one that you look forward to every single season.
Absolutely. What an honor it is to come to the ballpark on Jackie Robinson Day. I had a chance to play the game. Now I get a chance to broadcast big league baseball in large part to what Jackie Robinson did for all of us in the game of baseball.
All right, the big story here today has to be the pitching matchup. It'll be Justin Verlander, Corey Kluber, two guys that have Cy Youngs on their mantle.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Justin Verlander has been one of the best right-handers in all of baseball the last calendar year. His stuff is supreme. Fastball, he elevates a lot. 95, 96, lots of swings and misses. He won the Cy Young in 11. You see Corey Kluber, he won it in 2014. And last year, Corey Kluber down the stretch was pitching as well as any right-hander in the game. And he's also very difficult to beat right here in this particular ballpark. This should be a fun night of baseball with these two aces on the bump.
And coming up, what we learned last night, well, don't make Miggy angry, because if you do, in the end, Miggy always seems to get the last laugh. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Jeep, get great deals on the Jeep lineup at the Jeep Spring Clearance event. And by Kroger. We're in Cleveland today. The Tigers and the Indians getting together for Game 2 of the series. We celebrate again Jackie Robinson Day all around Major League Baseball. All of the players in this game and in every game around Major League Baseball today will be wearing the number 42 of the great Jackie Robinson. Well, we mentioned it's a gorgeous afternoon. When we got to the ballpark today, It was raining, but not so. The sun is shining and the field conditions are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. And Rod, this has turned into a 79-degree day here in Cleveland.
Absolutely beautiful in downtown Cleveland this afternoon. They have the Cavaliers that are playing right next door. They're going to have a lot of people here in attendance to watch the baseball game too. But it's nice for Cleveland to see Cleveland like this with all these people around here downtown.
Yeah, this town is really hopping right now. You've got the basketball game across the street and the game here. There is Miguel Cabrera, who last night, well, he kind of broke out of a little bit. He backed Daniel Norris, who went 6 strong innings in the game. Norris, his command really wasn't all that good, but still he pitched well enough to win in the ball game last night. And the Tigers, as a result, win the first game of the season series, and that's a good thing because they had trouble winning in this ballpark all of last season. Here is the starting lineup for the Tigers here this afternoon, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. For the Detroiters today, it'll be Kinsler, Castellanos, and Cabrera in the top 3 spots. Victor Martinez, the DH, followed by Justin Upton. Tyler Collins gets the call in right. You got McCann, Romine, and Iglesias, who suddenly has gotten hot for the Tigers. He's batting 9th and playing shortstop. Well, they're going to face a pretty good pitcher today. His name is Corey Kluber. He is presented by Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors.
Well, today's one of those days where the Tigers hitters know they're going to have to grind out some at-bats because they're going up against Kluber, who is an outstanding pitcher, power fastball. He has one of the best breaking pitches in all of baseball. He's already won a Cy Young, and he is the ace of their staff. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment behind Corey Kluber. This afternoon, they've got Michael Brantley back out there. First time we've really had a look at Michael Brantley in a long time. Chisenhall's in center field, only his 3rd outing out in center field. Almonte in right. Diaz, Lindor, Ramirez, and Encarnacion round out the infield, and Yan Gomes is a receiver today.
Kluber, a very talented pitcher. The slider has been a pitch that he has used to really gain a lot of success in the major leagues and really win a lot of ball games.
Well, here's why you'll see a lot of the Tigers swinging early and often at the fastballs they get from Kluber, because you can't hit this slide piece. It is one of the best in game. He disguises it at a fastball, and look how late the ball breaks. It's not until the last 2 feet that this slider breaks to the outside corner. It's a devastating pitch for him. He will throw this pitch early. He will throw it often. Tigers need to try to stay away from the counts that he likes to throw the off-speed pitches.
So we are ready for baseball here this afternoon. Corey Kluber, the veteran right-hander out of Birmingham, Alabama, 18-game winner last year, set to go to work. And the Tigers have Ian Kinsler starting things off. It'll be Kinsler, Castellanos, and then Miguel Cabrera. Tigers now with 7 wins on the year, 7-3 atop the Central. Ian in the ball game last night, 1 out of 5. Kluber ready. Here's the first pitch of today's ball game, and Kinsler swings and misses. Ian now at 267 on the year, couple of homers. He has knocked in 5. Trying to get the table set for the Tigers here in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch is foul down the right field line, slicing back toward the seats, and it's going to drop foul. 0-2 on Ian Kinsler. And an early souvenir for that gentleman. A lot of t-shirts and sunglasses today. Last night we had blankets and jackets and hats. A lot different today.
Usually do not get this kind of weather in the month of April. It's a beautiful weather day.
No balls, 2 strikes on Ian. Kinsler has been on base in all 9 games that he has played in this year. Kluber's 0-2, swing and a miss. He got him to chase. 1 gone.
And we just told you about the Kluber breaking pitch. It's a devastating breaking pitch. That time he got on top of it. It's a slider. Disguises it like a fastball into the last couple of feet, and then the ball simply darts to the outside corner.
That appeared to be an unhittable pitch.
That it was.
It'll bring up Nicholas Castellanos. Nick's average now down to 220 after a scalding hot start, but that really doesn't tell the whole story. He had quite a few more hard hit balls in last night's game. He just continues to hit lasers.
Well, as a matter of fact, really no one in the major leagues has hit balls as hard as Nicholas Castellanos has on a daily basis consistently. He's been barreling them up.
A couple of homers this year, 5 RBIs. Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Castellanos.
94-mile-per-hour two-seam action on that heater from Corey Kluber.
Kluber was just so-so in his first 2 starts, gave up 5 runs in his first start against Texas, and just 2 earned runs in his last start. Swing and a miss. Man, Kluber is off to a red-hot start. 2 gone.
Well, last night, Trevor Bauer was the starting pitcher on the mound, and his first pitch to Miguel Cabrera, he dusted him. Miguel did not appreciate it, and both sides were warned. Later on in the contest, Miguel got revenge. A 3-run big home run against Trevor Bauer.
Not to mention the Snickers and the smile.
He made me hungry with that Snicker last night. We know how to get Mickey to smile now.
Cabrera looks at a ball outside.
Here's where Cabrera will start to cheat for inside fastballs. He knows ultimately what the Cleveland Indians want to do to him. They want to crowd him. They feel like that's the only way to get him out. But watch his left foot, Al. He'll take it and he'll point it down toward third base. He's cheating a little bit today.
1-1 on Miggy.
And Corey Kluber already throwing hard, getting ahead with that power fastball, 94, with a lot of action in the strike zone. He's got an explosive arm, and we've already seen a couple of devastating breaking balls.
Cabrera sends a ground ball foul down the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big night for Miggy last night. You saw the home run. He finished 2 out of 3. Crowd getting behind Kluber early in this one. Here's the 1-2.
Yeah, best fastball of the afternoon so far. Yeah, thrown by Corey. That last one registered 95 on the radar gun. Throwing a lot of strikes today too. Very economical. He wants to stay around today. He knows he has very little margin for error with Justin Verlander pitching for the Tigers.
Got him. Strike 3. Cabrera caught looking, and he didn't like it. Corey Kluber strikes out the side. Of the first inning. Here come the Indians now in the bottom of the first against JV. They're starting live today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers for Cleveland. Santana, Lindor, Brantley back in the lineup this evening. Did not play last night. Encarnacion, Ramirez, Chisenhall in the middle. Yandy Diaz at third, then Almonte and Yan Gomes behind the dish. They are facing Justin Verlander, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Justin Verlander, in his last 20 starts, he's not given up more than 3 earned runs in any of those starts. He checks in with a respectable ERA. What better than respectable at 1.35? The ace has been outstanding. Take a look at the Tigers defensively behind Justin Verlander. Upton, Romine, Collins in the outfield. Third to first reads Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, and McGill. James McCann back in there today after Alex Avila had a good game last night.
So here is Santana, the DH this afternoon. Verlander goes to work. And Santana looks at ball 1. 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. He did draw a walk. It was a heart-stopping night last night in the 9th inning. The grand slam by Chisenhall made it a 1-run game, but the Tigers held on. The 1-0 pitch, and Santana takes low, 2-0. Santana also reached out an air in the ball game last evening. He provides power at the top of the lineup. Now the 2-0. Bouncing ball right side straight into the shift, and Ian Kinsler has it in short right field for the out.
We told you what the Tigers are trying to stay away from, and that's the breaking ball of Corey Kluber. He struck out the Tigers' side with the breaking ball. This is the pitch that the Cleveland Indians want to stay away with. 2 strikes. The elevated fastball that Justin Verlander has mastered of the last year and a half. He gets mostly swings and misses at the top of the strike zone. Cleveland knows that, and they'll try to stay out of 2-strike counts against Verlander.
Francisco Lindor stands in. Off to a hot start, 316 with 4 home runs. He hit some balls deep last night. There's a strike on the outer edge.
And one of your better young players in the game of baseball, Francisco Lindor, outstanding shortstop. He's won a Gold Glove. He's made an all-star team. As a matter of fact, he was given a platinum glove last night. Switch hitter with power and speed. I guess you can say he's a 5-tool player.
No question. He is the poster child for 5-tool players. Fouled away, no balls, and 2 strikes.
And there are not many guys walking around that can do everything on a baseball field, but Francisco Lindor is one of those guys.
And you know, you made a good point about him last night. He's not a big guy in terms of stature, but he can hit the ball with power to all fields.
For sure.
And a double in the 9th inning last night that turned out to be a big hit.
The opposite way off the gate out there, batting left-handed.
Now JV steps off.
And Verlander has all 4 pitches. He's got a fastball that will get up to 97. He's got a great curveball. He's got a wonderful changeup. He's got a good slider, and he's also added a little bit of a cutter to his fastball these days. Apparently he and McCann are not on the same page, which is not a good sign here 2 batters in.
Well, I remember his last start. He had McCann coming out to the mound several times, and they had several conversations. Trying to get on the same page here. Soft line drive back up the middle into center field. Sounded like he broke his bat.
They finally settled on a changeup, and it was a really good changeup that was fading away. As a matter of fact, it was off the plate, but Lindor still able to put it in play, and Lindor was really hustling out of the batter's box. He put a lot of pressure on the center fielder Romine to make that play cleanly, or Lindor would have tried to get to second base. Verlander will throw over to first base quite a bit. As a matter of fact, no one has thrown over to first base more than Justin Verlander the last year. He'll keep you close.
Right on cue.
.277 times Justin Verlander has thrown over to first base since the beginning of the 2016 season. That's a lot.
Well, Lindor stole 19 last year, so he can go. And there's another throw.
Justin Verlander, since he's come to the big leagues as well, has picked off a lot of base runners because he has quick feet. Now, obviously, he has a very good arm, and he's very accurate when he's throwing the ball over to Miguel Cabrera.
So Lindor has his attention early in this one. 1 on, 1 out. Dangerous hitter up there, Michael Brantley, coming back from an injury. Ball 1 to Brantley. Well, it was on this field on the 4th of July in 2005 that Justin made his major league debut as a Tiger. Now 12 years later, one of the best in baseball. Brantley career .292 against JV. And again, Lindor chased back.
It was just a couple of years ago where Brantley, I believe, finished 3rd in the MVP voting. Victor Martinez finished 2nd. Of course, Mike Trout won it that year. So that's how good Brantley was back in 2015. Brantley, excuse me.
Very understated kind of player, not very flashy. Takes another one down low, and now it's 2-0. Brantley played just 11 games last year, did not play after May 10th, and eventually had some bicep surgery.
They call him Dr. Smooth.
Well, with those glasses, what else would you call him?
That's his nickname.
Lindor has singled here with 1 out, and Brantley sitting on a 2-0 count. Two balls and 1 strike. It's amazing how the Indians did what they were able to do last year without the services of Brantley. There was some thought that he might come back at some point in the season, but he just never really got over the hump in terms of his injury. And Tito Francona had to deal with some pitching injuries. One of the best hitters, in fact, his number 3 hitter out of the lineup most of the year. But every team will deal with the injuries. Tigers certainly did last year. Verlander's adding to his total, isn't he?
Yeah, he's already thrown over there 4 times. But what was surprising about that list that we put up of Verlander and how many times he has thrown over to first base since the beginning of 2016, I believe he was 100 more times than Tomlin, who was 2nd on the list.
Yeah, not even close. Here's the 2-1. Ooh. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Brantley. Justin got Santana to ground out to start the inning. But now Brantley sitting in a great hitter's count here, 3-1. And ball 4. He walked him. 2 on and 1 out. That'll bring up Edwin Encarnacion. Early scoring chance here for the Indians. Encarnacion off to a slow start, but showed some signs last night with a couple of hits. He also walked. Major power, 42 home runs last season.
Encarnacion is more of a fly ball hitter, but Justin Verlander looking for the ground ball here. He did hit into 22 double plays last season. Signed a huge contract to come to the Cleveland Indians from the Toronto Blue Jays in the offseason.
How many times do you see the guy sign the new contract with a brand new team and they get off to a slow start?
Well, we saw it last year with our left fielder, Justin Upton. You see it a lot. Guys try to do too much. And Terry Francona.
Oh, they might have him picked off. Oh, he just got back. Lindor was a couple of steps toward 3rd and nearly paid for it.
That is a wonderful move there by Justin Verlander. Had Ian Kinsler been going to the bag there, he would have been out because Lindor was entertaining the thought of stealing 3rd there. Look at Lindor. He was halfway toward 3rd base. And that's a nice spin move there by Justin Verlander. He incorporated this move this season. And Justin not as efficient in the first inning as Corey Kluber was. He has thrown 13 pitches, and he's thrown more balls than strikes.
Now he has to deal with Encarnacion. Ramirez waiting on deck, middle of the lineup for the Indians. Swing and a miss. Big rip there.
He's gotten lots of swings and misses on that fastball upstairs. 96 miles an hour. You can't catch up to it.
A little bit of panic setting in here in Cleveland on the start from Encarnacion, but the reality is that he only hits .245 career in the month of April. So typically he has not gotten off to red hot starts. Oh, he got him, strike three, and Encarnacion can't believe it. Big strikeout there for Verlander. First of the game.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Justin Verlander going up against Encarnacion. First pitch fastball 96, then 97. All fastballs 96 upstairs. Then he finishes them off with an absolutely dirty breaking ball at 83. Just not fair. 96, 97, 97, then that.
What a pitch to a great hitter.
Now this guy right here is dangerous with runners in scoring position, though.
See the curveball usage on Verlander over 23% this year. Yeah, Ramirez, man, this guy can hit. 2 more hits last night.
And he does his best work. And when runners are in scoring position, which is usually not the norm for a very young player, he has been able to slow the game down in these situations. High leverage situation.
Batted over 300 for the first time in his career last season. He's at 270 right now. Checked it, strike call. Here's where Ramirez made his money last year.
335 with runners in scoring position, which was 5th best in the big leagues.
Signed a 5-year deal in the offseason. Swing and a drive deep to right field, way back, and that ball is way gone.
He's a bad boy. He's a little fella, but he's a bad boy. This is the main reason why I hated the way the Tigers game ended last night. Because today, this team, Cleveland, even though they got beat last night, they went into their locker room like they almost won that game.
That is the first home run that JV has given up this year.
That is a fastball. It's right around the belt buckle. Ramirez had an idea Justin would try to go there because that's where he goes with the fastball, and the young man simply turned on it. At 97.
That's unreal right there. Bad boy is right. He hit that thing halfway up the bleachers up there. Indians have an early 3-0 lead in this game, and that has charged up the crowd a little bit here.
Verlander has not been giving up many big hits. We told you that in his last 20 outings, 3 earned runs or less in every single outing.
1-1 on Lonnie Chisenhall, who stepped off the bench last night, hit a grand slam off K-Rod in the 9th inning, but it was a little bit late and not enough. 398 feet on that home run by Ramirez. Five RBIs on the new season for Chisenhall, who started the year on the DL and was activated just a couple of days ago. Swing and a miss. So JV got the big strikeout looking of Encarnacion, but Ramirez got him. Here's the 2-2. 3-2. Full count on Chisenhall. Diaz waiting on deck. In the air to right field, sinking and caught on the run by Collins. That'll end the inning, but a big inning for the Indians. They lead 3-0. Go to the top of the second, and the Tigers combined for 3 or more home runs in this game. Bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your local newspaper, and well, Ramirez has one, so Tigers now they're gonna have to get a few of their own for curly fries. It'll be Victor Martinez, Justin Upton, and Tyler Collins facing Corey Kluber, who struck out the side in the first, and a strike called on Victor Martinez. Victor at 176 to start the year. He knocked into a couple of double plays in last night's game. One ball and one strike. They play and pull defensively. Ramirez to the outfield grass. Here's the 1-1. So we're seeing signs that Upton's starting to come around, that Cabrera's starting to come around, still trying to get Victor going. And Kluber misses high.
Just a matter of time for Victor. He's had way too much success playing this game. Still a very good eye. Still has bat quickness.
And good numbers against Kluber.
And he's sitting in a real nice friendly fastball count.
Three, 2. Here's one thing that we have noticed: the strikeouts have started to climb for Victor. Back in 2014, he had a strikeout every 15 plate appearances, and you see the progression up until this year. I mean, there was a time when Victor struck out, we were all just amazed.
For sure.
And he never struck out looking. Little chopper, foul again. Well, Kluber has been given an early 3-0 lead on the Ramirez home run. ball that traveled nearly 400 feet off of his bat. Here's the 3-2. Just got a piece of it, staying alive. Looking at some of the WAR numbers for pitchers since 2014, and I knew Kluber probably would be toward the top of that list. I didn't think he'd be first.
He's first.
A WAR of 18, which is the best. Here you go, 18 sales on that list price. Keuchel. Ground ball back up the middle. Right into that shift, and Lindor throws him out. 4 up, 4 down now against Kluber. We'll bring up Justin Upton. Upton last night was 1 for 4. Homer to the last day of the homestand. .192 average now for Upton. You'll notice that every player today wearing the number 42. It's Jackie Robinson Day all along baseball, and Jay Up was talking today before the game about how important Jackie is and was to him, and how he would not be wearing this uniform today had it not been for Jackie Robinson. The umpires have the number 42 as well. A swing and a miss, 0-2.
I think Justin speaks for most of us, men of color, and that had a chance to play the game. I now had a chance to broadcast the game on a nightly basis, and what Jackie went through, and to integrate the game of baseball. And it's wonderful that baseball recognizes the impact that Jackie had on our country.
Driven to left field on a line, and that ball is going to go up against the wall. Upton will go to second base, and pulled in with a 1-out double.
An absolute laser off the bat of Justin Upton. We've already told you that Corey Kluber, once he gets ahead of you, he throws you lots of breaking balls, but this was not a good breaking ball. He hung this one to Justin Upton, and it landed right in the happy zone of Jay Up, and he drilled it off the left field wall.
Upton with a 2-bagger. That'll bring up Tyler Collins. Tyler at .333 this year, and right now enjoying a 6-game hitting streak. Strike in the outside corner. I think he's done a pretty good job, Rod, with the Tigers still awaiting the return of J.D. Martinez, and because of all the right-handers the Tigers see, Tyler gets a lot of the calls out there in right field, but a good start so far.
Well, he's been giving you a lot of quality plate appearances and putting the ball in play.
Lifted in the air to straightaway center field for Chisenhall. 2 gone. It'll bring up James McCann. Mac back behind the plate here today. Avila caught the ball game last night and homered for the Tigers.
Alex also did a very nice job with Daniel Norris. Daniel did not have good command of his fastball in last night's game, but Avila, he forced him into throwing 13% and change-ups off speed pitches last night. He made him throw it.
You know, the kind of strange thing about Norris's start yesterday, 6 scoreless in there is his line, but his final ball to strike ratio, 54 strikes, 47 balls. I mean, when you see that many balls, it's usually not good numbers like this.
Effectively wild was Daniel Norris yesterday.
1 ball, 1 strike on McCann. Tigers continue to get good outings from their starting pitching. Is your heart rate back to normal after last night's game?
Yeah, I'm good now.
It took a while.
I'm good now.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. McCann hit 3 homers on the first homestand the Tigers had. Tigers trying to get a run here after giving up a 3 spot. Upton at second with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on McCann. Here comes the crowd now with 2 away. Much more lively crowd here this afternoon. I think part of that has to do with the weather and a 3-0 lead. Got him. Strike 3. Caught him looking at the upper reaches of the strike zone. McCann thought it was too high. No runs, a double, and 1 man left. Indians lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. We bring in now Trevor Thompson. Good afternoon, Trev.
Good afternoon, Mario. We know that this is the 70th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, but just a couple of months later, on July 5th in 1947, right here in Cleveland, Larry Doby broke the color barrier in the American League, and he is an icon here in Cleveland because of it. They've got a statue out in the plaza area as you enter Progressive Field, and he's been a Hall of Famer in the Indians Hall of Fame and in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. And get this, Mario, Terry Francona's father, Tito, was twice traded for Larry Doby during their careers in the 50s. So 1 degree of separation for Tito Francona from the great Larry Doby.
I did not know that. Thanks, Trev. Yeah, Larry Doby, a great player, 7-time All-Star.
Had a chance to meet Larry Doby. He was a nice man. And, you know, Jackie received all the credit for breaking the color barrier. And when he integrated baseball in 47, but just a few weeks later, I mean, here comes Larry Doby. He was second.
Larry Doby drove in a lot of runs in his career. Great player. Well, we all know what Jackie accomplished in the game. 6 World Series appearances, won 1 title. Hall of Famer. Breaking the color barrier 70 years ago. Jackie Robinson.
Did you know he stole home plate 19 times?
Oh,
dude?
I didn't.
In his career, he stole home plate 19 times.
I know he did it quite a few times, but not that many.
I mean, you're lucky now if you see one guy steal home plate all year.
Yeah, I agree. Verlander missing low to Almonte. Diaz opening up the inning with a single. Almonte 0 for 4 in last night's opener. 3 hits already for the Indians. They got the big 3-run homer by Ramirez in the first.
Verlander not as sharp here this afternoon so far. Not as sharp as he's been in his first couple of outings.
Especially in that last start against the Red Sox. Didn't give up an earned run in 7 innings. Swing and a miss. Justin threw 112 pitches in his last start. He went 3 hits against Boston. He has seen the Indians, though, a lot over the years, obviously because of the fact they're in the same division. Ball outside, 2-1.
And be careful here if you throw Almonte a fastball. It's a predictable fastball count, and that's one of the things that we've heard a lot of regarding him. He's a great fastball hitter.
Ground ball right side. Diving stop by Kinsler. Nice play. Runner will advance. Ian with a stretch out play at second.
Well, Ian Kinsler won his first Gold Glove at the second base position a season ago. And because he makes plays like this, big play, takes the right angle to get there, leaves his feet, gets up quickly, and then able to throw accurately to Miguel Cabrera underneath. It's a fine play by the Tigers all-star second baseman.
Nine errors all year. Kinsler was given his Gold Glove on the last homestand before one of the games against the Minnesota Twins. Man in second now with 1 out. Here is Yan Gomes. It has been a dreadful start for Gomes. He is only 2 for 22. Strike 1. In fact, when you break down Gomes' numbers, he is 1 for 19 versus righties this year. Perez started last night. Gomes today. Foul back out of play. 0-2 on Gomes. He had a 2-month stint on the disabled list last year, did Gomes. Finished the season batting just .167. Would not chase, and the count goes 1-2.
It's a nice block there by McCann. Especially when you call for the breaking ball, you got to get down and bury it, and that's exactly what he did. He wasn't late getting that glove down between the legs, both hands down there. You may remember in the just completed homestand, there was a couple of balls that got right through the legs of James McCann. That was not going to get through his legs.
Got him, strike 3. Gomes caught looking. Verlander with a strikeout. It'll be his second.
And Verlander has the ability to freeze you with that big breaking ball at about 82, 83, and a wonderful job of presenting the ball by James McCann. That's a great job of catching there by James. Nice firm wrist.
So here's Santana, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Diaz still at second. That ball is belted to right field on a line. Collins looks, and it's gone. Oh, man, Santana got that thing in the seats in a hurry.
Santana must have went up there sitting on a first pitch breaking ball, because generally speaking, you do not see guys jump on first pitch breaking balls and hit them this hard. Verlander about jumped out of his shoes after he threw this breaking ball when it was made contact. But look at Verlander after the contact. Oh, my goodness.
That feeling after you throw a pitch where you're just saying, oh, I want it back, I want it back.
It's a nice job there by Santana, who was clearly sitting on the curveball.
Santana's second home run of the season. The Indians have jumped to a 5-0 lead. Here's Lindor. Singled, scored a run in the Ramirez home run in the first. Ball missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Didn't see this coming. Not the way Justin Verlander has been pitching lately, and the way that the Cleveland Indians had been playing. Yeah, but one of the things that you and I discussed last night, when they left the field last night, they had a lot of momentum going into their clubhouse. Regardless of the fact that they lost the game, they came from behind from 6-0, 7-1 to make it a 7-6 game, and they just felt going into the clubhouse that they were going to come out today and play a good game.
You know, I was walking out of the ballpark last night, and I just had the feeling like we lost last night. You know, they gave up the big lead almost.
Me both.
Tigers ended up winning, but yeah, there was definitely a shift in momentum. That ball hammered the gap in left center field. It's going to get down. Upton plays it on a couple of hops, and Lindor has his second hit.
And Lindor will be on the move here, first or second pitch. He's going to try to steal. He's not going to let Justin Verlander dictate whether he steals a base or not here today. He's going to try to get it.
Well, back in June of 2016, Verlander gave up 8 runs on 9 hits and 4 2/3. His next 18 starts to finish the season, he was awesome. Really turned things around.
Had not given up 3 earned runs or less in a game since that point until today.
And now here is Brantley. Popped up foul. That'll get back out of play.
Did you know that is Carlos Santana's 8th career home run against Verlander? More home runs Verlander's given up to him than any other player.
More than Tomey?
Tomey only hit 7.
Wow. Well, this is a Cleveland team that you knew sooner or later was not going to hit as poorly with men in scoring position as they had. They left 12 men on base in last night's game. And their average with runners in scoring position was dismal this year. They have hit 2 big home runs early in this one against Justin Verlander. And both of them with 2 outs. Brantley sends a high fly ball to left. Justin Upton's under it, and that'll end the inning. However, a 2-run shot by Santana makes it 5-0.
Mario Mpemba and Rod Allen were being inducted this year because we know they are rock stars of the highest order in Detroit. But it turns out that Niles Rodgers, ELO, Joan Baez, Tupac, Yes, Journey, and Pearl Jam are being inducted this year. No worries, guys. Maybe you'll get your shot next year. Back to the ballpark to you guys for now. I'm going to take a spin around this place because it is simply fascinating.
All right, Trev, thanks. I'm jealous, man.
Absolutely.
That's a neat
get on
spot.
fun gigs,
That's
man.
right. Well, some guys going and some groups going into the Hall of Fame. Journey was the first concert I ever saw. What about you?
First concert that I ever saw was probably, this is way back in the day, maybe Commodores or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, somebody like that.
Yeah, I love the Commodores. They were smooth.
Yeah, they were good, man. Lionel Richie.
Andrew Romine leads it off. We go to the third. Romine, Iglesias, Kinsler.
Tigers have got some serious work to do today, especially against Corey Kluber, who is nearly unbeatable in this ballpark. If you go back to June 1st of 2016, he is 10-1. His team is 10-1 when he pitches right here. He's been dominant in this yard.
The 0-2. Straight foul. Well, we'll have to do something about these numbers then.
Yeah, you have to.
9-1.
2.34 ERA. 9, nearly 10 strikeouts per 9 innings in the league, hitting just 192 against Corey.
Swing and a miss.
Ooh, change piece. He looks awfully good today. He's on a mission.
5 strikeouts already for Kluber.
He's been up to 96 with his fastball. He's thrown some unhittable breaking balls. And then he comes back with another off-speed pitch at about 83.
You know, for a guy that's won a Cy Young and is one of the more dominant pitchers in the American League, he really kind of showed up on the scene a little bit later than most. He was 26, maybe 27 by the time he finally established himself.
Yeah, he's in his prime now at age 31.
Iglesias the batter.
But he nearly pitched himself to another Cy Young last year. Finished behind Justin Verlander, 3rd in the voting in the American League.
Almost hit him there.
He has thrown a total of 35 pitches, and 28 of them have been strikes. He has missed the strike zone in very few times today.
Swing and a miss.
He brought his A game today, partner.
Buckle up. Tigers in a challenge here this afternoon.
Looking for his 6th strikeout already of the afternoon in 3 innings.
Defensive swing there by Iglesias to stay alive.
Emergency hack by Iglesias. Dial 911.
He has really come on in his last 2 games. 6 for his last 8 after a really slow start. In the air to shallow center field for Chisenhall. 2 outs. Hey, the Tigers made digital ballpark passes your ticket to 10 home games in May. 1 pass, 10 games, only $59. All tickets will be digitally delivered to your mobile device. Buy yours today at tigers.com/pets. Tigers fans hoping the offense finds a way to get the Kluber here. It's been a quiet start for the Tigers. Down 5-0 early. You're seeing Kinsler. Kluber, the first time through the lineup, has gone 0-2 on 4 hitters. So pitching ahead, and he's gotten ahead of Kinsler. And now another 0-2 count.
And he's got the kind of stuff that once he gets ahead of you, no balls and 2 strikes. He's nearly unhittable. He's got 3 different pitches that he can put you away with. The breaking ball, he can elevate the fastball, or he can simply throw you a fading changeup. They're elevating.
Mid-90s from Kluber. There's the 1-2. Got him. Kinsler strikes out for the second time in the ball game. That is 6 strikeouts already for Corey Kluber. All right, Keats, here it is 5-0 in favor of the Indians. They're off to a hot start today. A couple of home runs. Encarnacion leading it off in the bottom of the third. And Verlander fires one low and away. 2-0 on Encarnacion. Verlander froze him with the breaking ball, caught him looking in his first at bat. Hit hard and foul down the third base line. Man, was that close.
These Cleveland Indians are having no problem whatsoever turning on some of these fastballs that Verlander has been featuring so far today, even though the velocity isn't in the mid-90s.
That thing was whistled by Encarnacion. Ramirez and then Chisenhall here in the third for the Tribe. JV has allowed 5 runs, 5 hits.
Verlander only 6 of 13 in first pitch strikes, which means he's throwing a lot more fastballs, which means that's why the Indians have been hitting the ball very hard so far today.
That last fastball in 96.
He's been behind most of the hitters all afternoon long.
Encarnacion last year led the American League, actually tied in the American League for RBIs in the lead there with Ortiz, who has since retired. Big Papi.
I think David's going to do a little television for
really
the Boston Red Sox this year, I heard.
He can do just about anything he wants,
especially in Boston.
Swing and a miss. He threw it by him.
And third strikeout of the afternoon so far. And for Justin Verlander, he's already racked up quite a few of them this year. Upstairs, mid-90s, swung right through.
And by Encarnacion. Fastball usage so far today for Justin, 58% fastball, 22% slider. He's also mixed in some curves and some changes.
Jose Ramirez hit a 3-run homer with 2 outs in the first to give the Indians the lead. Second home run of the year for Ramirez. Strike call. We're talking last night, Rod, about the fact they signed him to a 5-year deal on March 28th. He's got options that could keep him here till 2023 in a Cleveland uniform. Little looper back a short, and it's going to drop into left field, a base hit.
This much I do know. He's been wearing us out since he first showed up.
He's got 4 hits already in the series. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Ramirez also stole 22 bases last year. And the Tribe will not run as much this year as they ran last year. They don't have Rajay Davis, who led the American League in steals, but Ramirez is one guy that you have to keep close. They'll still run, even though it's a 5-run lead here in the third.
Chisenhall launches one deep to right field. That ball is way back, and it is gone. Oh my goodness, a long home run for Chisenhall. His second of the series.
Chisenhall hit a grand slam last night. He comes up today. He gets himself a 94-mile-per-hour fastball and simply turns on it. It's been a while since we've seen Justin Verlander hit as hard as he's been hit here today. As a matter of fact, you got to go back to that start we were talking about a little while ago at Comerica Park. Fastball inside, hips turned beautifully by Chisenhall.
3 home runs given up by Verlander in this ball game today. It's 7-0 Cleveland, and for as frustrated as the Indians have been offensively so far this year, they're taking it out on JV today. Big swing by Yandy Diaz, who fouls it back. 7 runs on 7 hits. Chisenhall has 6 RBIs and 3 at-bats in the series. Nub right in front of the plate. McCann will handle it. Diaz is out. 2 away. Action in the Tigers bullpen. Anibal Sanchez warming up.
No one, absolutely no one in that Tigers dugout saw this coming. Not the way Justin's been pitching.
One of those days so far. Here is Almonte. Let's bring in Trevor Thompson. Trev.
Mario, last night after the game, I asked Brad Ausmus if he thought that momentum that the Tribe had built with those hits in the later innings last night might carry over to today. He said momentum is all about your next day's pitcher, and we like our starter tomorrow. Looks like momentum was on the side of the Tribe as they carry on today and getting the best of Justin Verlander.
Yeah, there's got to be something to that, and I certainly believe that momentum can be had. There's the base hit.
They're hitting everything that he throws, whether it be the changeup, whether it be the fastball. They're getting some good plate appearances against Verlander.
You're just not used to seeing this many hits on just about every pitch against JV. That's 8 hits already now. We're only in the third. Yan Gomes will step in.
The last 3 times that Justin Verlander has given up 5 runs in a game, the last 3 times he's given up at least 5 earned runs in a game, all 3 of those have been against the Cleveland Indians.
Really? That ball hit high in the air, deep into right field. Collins going back. He's to the warning track to make the catch.
Ooh, goodness gracious.
Inning over, not before a 2-run shot. Tigers have some work to do. They've got Castellanos. They've got Cabrera. They've got Victor. Hit 3 of them, lead 7-0. Now time for the Bernstein advantage. Maybe the Tigers can get it going here with what they've got coming up. Castellanos, Cabrera, Martinez certainly have had the Bernstein advantage against Kluber. Here are the numbers. But Kluber today has been on a different level. He has 6 strikeouts after 3 innings.
You would think that the Tribe would not be barreling up Justin Verlander as consistently as they have been, especially with the shadows coming over the field. They've pretty much been here the entire game. The Tigers cannot pick up Kluber at all, but they've had no problem whatsoever picking up Justin Verlander.
Nicholas Castellanos to lead things off. He struck out in the first. Kluber continues to get ahead of hitters. The 0-1 missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 runs on 8 hits for the Indians, and the Tigers no runs, 1 hit. The 1-1. Nick now 1 for 6 in the series. Just missed. Inside to Castellanos.
Everything for the most part, the bottom of the strike zone, and thrown by Kluber with the exception of 1 pitch, and that he elevated on purpose. He is all around the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. Man,
I don't think I've ever seen Corey Kluber better than he has been here today so far.
7 strikeouts.
And the majority of his strikeouts have come on this breaking ball. He throws it right down the middle. It's got a huge break on it. It's a dirty pitch.
Well, he's got 7 of them today, but he's nowhere near his career high of 18.
Whoa.
That was against the Cardinals back a couple of years ago in 2015. Cabrera shoots one foul.
5 of the 6 strikeouts have come. 5 of the 7 strikeouts have come from the first 3 batters here today. Kinsler twice, Castellanos twice, and he's got Miguel Cabrera as well. A lot of sliders. We talked about it in the first inning.
Toward the gap in left center field. That ball is going to get down and go to the wall. Cabrera is going to chug into second with a 1-out double. Second double of the ball game for the Tigers.
Yeah, you should have knew that Miguel would get loose against Corey Kluber, his first double of the season. He came in with monster numbers against Corey Kluber, 90-mile-per-hour cut fastball.
It'll be Cabrera's 3rd hit of this series. And just the 2nd Tiger hit of the game. The other was a double by Upton with 1 out in the 2nd. Victor bounced out his only time up. He'll look at ball 1. Kluber's last start, 6 innings, 2 earned runs against Arizona. Only struck out 4 in that game, has 7 already in this game. 1-1. High and away. 2-1 on Victor Martinez. Vmark came in batting .333 versus Kluber, 3 home runs. And he missed again.
And Victor Martinez still looking for his first extra base hit of the season. He's only had 39 plate appearances. It's really early.
It's still somewhat hard to believe, though. 3 RBIs on the season for Martinez.
He's got a good count to get one in right now, though.
That ball hit toward right center field. That one is going to get down, go up against the wall. Victor will pull in with a single off the gate in right. Cabrera scores, and the Tigers are on the board.
He should have had his first extra base hit of the year.
Off the gate in right center, but Martinez, as we know, does not run.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes that Kluber has made, but he had to throw this pitch. He was behind in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike, fastball 92, right down the middle. We nearly called his first extra base hit of the season.
I almost said there's a double to the gap in right center.
Good thing you held out.
Because you're just conditioned to say that when you see the ball go to the wall. RBI number 4 on the season, 7-1 ball game. Now Justin Upton. Tigers will try and claw back here. And J-Up takes inside.
Well, we watched the Indians claw back last night. They were trailing 7-1 last night, and it was the last inning of the game, wasn't it?
It was. Tigers got that extra run, and they needed it. The slam by Chisenhall made it 7-6.
5 of the 7 wins the Tigers have this year have been come from behind victories.
Let's do it again. Tigers now have 3 hits. Upton waits on a 1-1. 2-1.
And Kluber has put himself in another situation where Justin Upton's and looking for a fastball in the mid-90s. Doesn't mean he's going to get the fastball, but you've got to sit on one, especially when the opposition has a 6-run lead.
Swing and a miss. Tigers fell behind early in this one. A couple of 2-out homers in the first and second innings, and then a 2-run shot by Chisenhall in the third. Missed inside. Full count now on Upton. Waiting on deck, Tyler Collins. Tigers making Kluber work a little bit here in the fourth inning. And the 3-2. Swing and a drive in the air toward left field. That ball is hit well, and J-Up is gone deep. It's a 2-run shot for Upton, and the Tigers are climbing back in it.
All 3 hits that Kluber has given up in this particular inning, 90 miles per hour to Miguel Cabrera, 92 to Victor Martinez, and 94 here to Justin Upton. So they've jumped on the fastballs here in the fourth inning. What a beautiful swing by Justin Upton. The load was beautiful. Perfect. Tigers in business. We got a ball game.
Upton now with a double and a homer, and all of a sudden it's 7-3. They could not touch Kluber through 3 innings. Collins fouls one back out of play. Number 2 on the season for Upton.
Good to see the Tigers 3, 4, 5 hitters start to get it going. They had all been slowed for the most part all season, but it's good to see them get it going again. Another home run, better than 400 feet off the bat of Justin Upton.
That went 435.
I think there's only one player who averages longer home runs than J-Up, and that would be Stanton.
Strong man.
Yes, he is. And that was a half swing, too. That wasn't even a full swing.
Well, the Tigers climbing back in this one against Kluber, and the breakdown on Corey in this inning alone. 21 pitches, but you can see the command has not been nearly as good. Here's the 2-1. Collins sends a ground ball, base hit to right field. 4 straight hits for the Tigers.
One more look at the J-Up home run swing, but look at the finish for me. Usually you want to finish high, but look at where he finishes his swing at. He doesn't even finish the swing. Go ahead and roll it. Right there. He didn't finish it.
He almost served it like a tennis ball.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. So much time left in this ball game. We're only in the fourth inning, and the Tigers starting to chip away at that deficit. 7-3.
I came downstairs to get some coffee at about 8:30 this morning, and Lloyd McClendon and Leon Bull Durham were already downstairs getting ready to come to the ballpark. That early. These coaches, man, they work hard. They got some long hours.
They really do, and I think the average fan has no idea what time they're at the ballpark and what they do in the cages before games to get their guys ready, the extra hours they put in.
And you're coming to work on a Saturday trying to figure out how to hit one of the best right-handed pitchers in the game, and that would be Corey Kluber.
And it appeared early on that Kluber was going to be really tough to get to. 0-2.
He looked unhittable, didn't he?
Yeah, Upton had that double in the second, but that was it.
7 strikeouts already. He struck out the first batter of this game, which was Kinsler, before the Miguel Cabrera double. Did he make a play? Oh,
good hands.
Got him a rebound.
0-2 on McCann. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So give Kluber 8 strikeouts for the ball game.
The majority of his strikeouts have come on the breaking pitch.
He got Romine striking out in the 3rd for the first out of that inning. Ball 1. Kluber keeps kicking at that landing spot on the mound.
We watched Daniel Norris last night have some difficulty with that same area of the mound that Kluber's having some difficulty with.
Didn't seem to bother him the first 3 innings.
What you saying?
Take whatever you want from that statement.
What you trying to say?
It's like when you're walking down the street and you trip and you gotta look. Oh man, something. Yeah, I tripped over something over there. It wasn't me. It was that rock I tripped over.
Andrew Romine should get a pretty good pitch to hit right here. He's already homered once this year. It was a grand slam.
Fly ball toward left field. Brantley is on the move, still going back to the warning track. You almost called that one. Tigers climbing back into this one though. Cabrera with a double. V-Mart with a single to knock him in, and then Shea gone. Game, a 2-run homer capping a 3-run inning, and now it's a 7-3 ball game. Up to Justin Verlander now to get the ship righted. He has Santana to get things started.
Yeah, Justin needs a clean inning in the worst way. And his team has just got a little bit of momentum on their side. Now it's up to him to make sure that they can keep that momentum when they get back to the dugout.
Santana, then Lindor, and then Brantley, top 3 in the lineup for Terry Francona. Here's the strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Santana hit a line drive home run to the seats in right field back in the second.
He's got a lot of power. He hit 34 home runs last year.
8 of them now career against Verlander. Santana came into this ballgame really struggling at home. Just 1 for 17 coming in. Way inside, 2-1. Playing to pull on Santana. Swing and a miss. Got Kinsler out in short right field. Tigers have kind of switched up their defenses on situations where they play to pull.
Right.
They used to have Castellanos out there. I talked to Kinsler today, and he said they switched up about 3 or 4 days into the season. They just wanted Ian to go to short right field because he has more familiarity with that side of the field.
He can also cover more cover more range. He's got more range than Castellanos.
So the Tigers went ahead and made that change. So you see Nick now will play to the right of Kinsler. Two and 2 on Santana. Belted again, but he got out in front of it.
Another reason why they also play Ian Kinsler where he's playing right now, because when balls are hit into the gap in right center field, Ian Kinsler is more accustomed to going out and getting the ball to relay the ball to throw it in. Castellanos plays third base, and very seldom does he ever really have to handle the baseball on throws from the outfield, with the exception of the one from the left fielder throwing home. So you got your best guy over there to do everything you need him to do.
Makes sense. I think at the beginning it was probably a little bit foreign to some of these infielders to play some of these shifts, but it's been happening now for a good 5 years. So Ian accustomed to playing on the outfield grass, the different bounces. 2 and 2 on Santana. There's a line drive to right center field. Going to get down, a base hit. Romine bobbles it on the warning track. Santana will go to second, and he'll pull in safely there.
That was an absolute frozen rope off the bat of Santana.
It's his second hit of the game. Fans, this year's Pick Out the Park will be held Wednesday, May 17th. Tigers take on the Orioles. Help support breast cancer research with a special ticket package. It includes a commemorative t-shirt, game ticket, and donation to the Carmanos Cancer Institute. For tickets, please visit tigers.com/pinkouts. Well, the Tribe at it again.
Justin not fooling anybody today. They already have 9 hits and really nothing cheap about most of them.
Here is Lindor. Swing and a miss.
And good cut fastball there, 91 miles an hour.
2 singles in this game for Lindor, and he now has a 9-game hitting streak.
The Tigers have now started the season with 11 consecutive home runs, which continues to add to their franchise record. 11 straight days they've homered in a game to start the season.
And you can thank Upton for extending that streak today. The 0-1. Lindor singled, scored in the first, singled in the second. 3 hits and a walk already in the series for Lindor. Fouled off, 1-2. Sanchez was warming up earlier in this ball game, and now Shane Green has begun to tune up.
And Verlander might try to elevate at least one fastball here to Lindor to see if he can get him to chase it.
Outside. 2-2 now on Lindor. And Brad said it best after the ball game last night. His bullpen has to start pitching better. It's pure and simple. I mean, he wasn't sugarcoating anything. Only just a couple of guys at the back end of that pen are pitching decent baseball. That would be Wilson, Alex, and Justin Wilson.
Yeah, it was painful to watch that at the end of the game yesterday, but they did get the win, which in the grand scheme of things is most important.
Ooh, bad swing there by Lindor.
It's almost like Francisco's looking for something else. He fouled it off though, didn't he?
He did. He got a piece of it. And Gino on the phone. Two and two on Lindor. Michael Brantley is on deck. Foul back. Not sure what's most impressive about Francisco Lindor. I mean, we've seen Rodham do everything. He's a tremendous fielder, range to his left, range to his right, hit with power, hit for average.
It might be his leadership qualities, man.
Yeah,
he's a leader. At a very young age, he's a leader. One of 3 players in MLB history with a 300 average, 25 homers, 25 steals in his first 2 seasons. That kind of speaks volumes.
He's the type of player I think that teams try and get at early and get him locked up to a long-term deal as to where it might help the team out fiscally in the future.
Right.
Pulled foul.
There's no doubt that he has the kind of skill set and the kind of leadership abilities that they would want him to wear their uniform for his entire career. Guys like Francisco Lindor don't come around very often.
Lindor last year received MVP votes. In fact, he finished 9th in the voting in the American League.
Made his first All-Star team.
Santana has doubled to start the 4th. 7-3 ball game. And now McCann goes out to the mound. .69 now for Verlander total. 47 strikes. Verlander trying to put away Lindor, but he's got Brantley on deck, then Encarnacion. Slap foul again.
Lindor giving him a battle after falling behind. No balls and 2 strikes.
He has seen 8 pitches in this at bat. Lindor in his young career has had an on-base percentage of .381 against the Tigers. There's a chopper to the right side that'll get the job done, advancing the runner. Lindor is out. Santana to third. He was able to at least advance him, and now Brantley will try and score him.
And Tigers will have to bring the infield in against Michael Brantley here. They can't afford to give away another run here with a runner on third, just 1 out. And if you're Verlander, you need a strikeout.
Brantley has a walk and a fly ball. Another visit out to the mound. Brad watches his team fall behind 7-0. They have bounced back with a 3-run 4th inning. Upton a 2-run homer. Infield in for the Tigers.
If you're Verlander, you have to pitch very carefully here to Brantley. And the guy in the on-deck circle has done very little against you in your career, so it's not the end of the world if you walk Michael Brantley. Then you could play for 2 off the bat of Encarnacion. Otherwise, Brantley more than likely drives a run in if you decide to pitch to him. He's that good a hitter.
Brantley is a career .291 hitter. I mentioned a couple of years ago he was 3rd in the MVP voting.
Encarnacion in the on-deck circle in his career against Verlander is 3 for 25. Whoa. 3 for 25. So really no need to pitch to Brantley here.
Justin, I'm sure well aware of those numbers. Driven toward left field. That ball is slicing toward the corner, and it's going to land foul.
Woo.
That was close.
It was really close.
You run out of foul territory as you get deeper and deeper down the line. One and 2 on Brantley. Meanwhile, home plate umpire Chris Guccione trying to break up the confab again between McCann and JV. Seven to 3, Indians have the lead. A runner at third with 1 out. 1 and 2 on Brantley. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. JV with a big strikeout there. 2 gone.
92-mile-per-hour cut fastball down and in to Michael Brantley, a dangerous hitter who was batting .357 with runners in scoring position. That's a 92-mile-per-hour cutter.
Here are the numbers that you touched on. 120 career against Verlander. However, he does have a couple of homers. Strikeout in the first, strikeout in the third. Ball 1. Infield slightly to pull on Encarnacion. Fly ball in the air to center. This will get him out of the inning. Romine is under it, and the side retired. No runs. A leadoff double is stranded. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, for tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 3 years in a row. Well, Trevor Thompson was at the Hall of Fame a little bit earlier today. Let's bring in Trev.
Mario, that was simply a fantastic visit to Cleveland's #1 tourist attraction. 6 floors, thousands upon thousands of exhibits and artifacts. Got to check out some of my favorite bands, the Michael Jackson exhibit, the Rolling Stones, Elvis, certainly Motown, the Supremes. They had it all covered down there. And this year's inductees, quite a group, including Tupac and Pearl Jam. Wow, I thought you guys might have been inducted, the stars you are back in Detroit. But if any Detroiters get to Cleveland, please check out the Hall of Fame. It's worth the time for sure.
Hey, Trev, my first concert was Journey. My partner's first concert, the Commodores. What about you?
Ozzy Osbourne with Quiet Riot at Joe Louis Arena when I was 17 years old. It was a memory I'll never forget. We were going across on the tunnel bus, across the tunnel. The customs agent said to one of my friends, "Where were you born?" He said, "It's right there on the card." We never saw him again the rest of the night.
There's a fair ball hit down the left field line. Going to be extra bases for Iglesias, and he'll get things started with a double here in the 5th.
All of a sudden, the Tigers have some life. They scored 3 runs in the 4th inning after Corey Kluber absolutely mishandled them in the first 3 frames. It's a fastball inside. Somehow Iglesias pulls his hands in nicely. He's jammed, but somehow finds some real estate down that left field line and gets himself a hustling double. That ball might have some pine tar on it.
And for Iglesias, he continues to swing the bat. That is now his 7th hit in his last 10 at bats. Tigers continue to peck away. One of the panels fell out down the left field line. All of a sudden, the Tigers now have 6 hits.
Yeah, Corey Kluber has had Ian Kinsler's numbers so far today. He struck him out twice on the exact same pitch. That breaking ball at about 85 miles an hour.
Ball 1. Kinsler a strikeout in the 1st and 1 in the 3rd. To the second baseman. That'll advance the runner.
It's a good at bat there by Ian Kinsler. Runner on second base, nobody out. He's making a bid to get a base hit the opposite way, but he'll settle for that ground out to get Iglesias to third base with just 1 out, and Castellanos coming up.
Lindor did the same thing in the last half inning, got the runner to third with 1 out, but the Indians failed to score. And now we'll see if the Tigers here can cash in with Castellanos.
Castellanos pretty good career numbers against Corey Kluber. He and Miguel Cabrera are one of the few that have good numbers against Corey.
Slow roller hit toward shortstop. This will get the run in. Nick is out at first base by half a step. He gets an RBI. Score Iglesias 7-4. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player. It has been Miguel Cabrera in this ballpark at Progressive Field.
Oh, he's done major damage here at Progressive Field. Nearly a .350 batting average. .366 with runners in scoring position coming into this game. OPS over 1,000.
High fly ball. Shallow left field. Lindor calling. And now he gives way to Brantley to retire the side. Tigers get another run back, though. Coming back. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Norris last night, who was able to battle through 6 innings.
That's exactly what he did. Didn't have great command with his fastball, but man, did he have a plus changeup last night. He also had an outstanding slide piece. He was led beautifully by the backup catcher, Alex Avila. The future is awfully bright for the youngster, Daniel Norris.
Tigers won the opener behind Norris, and now JV back to work as Ramirez leads it off.
Verlander has not had an easy inning all game long. He has pitched in stress every step of the way.
And Ramirez looks at a strike.
And he started to throw more cut fastballs here in the last couple of frames than he was throwing earlier in the game. He was getting hit. That 94-mile-per-hour fastball was getting hit very hard early in this game by the Cleveland Indians bats.
Ramirez with a single and a 3-run homer. He got the Indians offense off and running today with the 3-run shot in the first. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Same pitch. It's that same pitch he struck Brantley out with. And that 90-mile-per-hour cutter, the left-handers are having a difficult time of picking it up. And he's got great location with it.
Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Ramirez, then Chisenhall, and then Diaz. 5, 6, 7 in Cleveland's lineup. Justin threw his first scoreless inning in the 4th, and that was after giving up a leadoff double. Ground ball, first base side, foul.
This guy's just hard to put away.
Really is. 4 hits already in the series for Ramirez.
He's off to another really good start. He's batting over 300. He's got 9 RBI, a couple of home runs.
Told you last night that Ramirez had his average up nearly 100 points last year from the previous season. Line drive to center field, and that's going to drop. Base hit. Another hit for Jose Ramirez, who is now 3 for 3. Now look at this number, 275 with 2 strikes last season. Only Altuve was better in the American League. Well, fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Get meeting on the mound now as Rich Doobie comes up, the Tigers pitching coach. Chisenhall coming up. That'll be the 10th hit for Cleveland this afternoon, and once again Shane Green begins to heat up. Verlander has just been on the brink this entire day. He gave up home runs in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings, then a double in the 4th, now a leadoff single here in the 5th. Chisenhall with a 2-run homer back in the 3rd. He pulled it to right field.
22 steals last year for Ramirez, so you've got to keep him close, and that's exactly the plan for Verlander.
Grounded foul. Tigers have one more in this series tomorrow. Then it's on to St. Petersburg. Off day tomorrow in St. Pete, or Monday I should say, in St. Pete. Then a series opening up against the Rays. This is the first extended road trip of the season for the Tigers. Ramirez has not stolen or attempted yet this year. Drilled to center field. That's a base hit. And Ramirez will go to second, and now the Indians have 2 men on, nobody out. Well, the hits are piling up now. That's going to be it. Brad Ausmus coming out. Verlander will be taken out of this game here in the 5th.
That's the right call by Ausmus. Verlander has pitched in way too much stress here this afternoon. A lot of traffic on the base paths.
Wall side windows pitching change as the Tigers go to the bullpen. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Don't know if you've noticed, but over in Washington, Daniel Murphy has hit safely in all 10, batting .444 this year.
He's got 20 hits already, picking up right where he left off last year.
Salvador Perez, 5th Royal in team history with 5 homers in the first 10 games. And the Braves won their first game in their new ballpark, SunTrust Park. Some of the happenings around the league. Justin Verlander done for the afternoon.
Just didn't have it today.
11 hits against Verlander today, and he'll give way to Shane Green.
That bottom note is the one that's important for this particular situation as far as Green is concerned. And last year he was outstanding. And when he was given inherited runners, not one of them came around to score.
Yandy Diaz with a single in 2 at-bats. 2 out, nobody out.
I don't know what it is about this Cleveland Indians team and the fact that every now and then they just have Justin Verlander's number.
Well, I wonder how much of it is that they've seen him an awful lot over the years. I mean, there's really nothing new.
Justin was holding left-handed batters to a 160 batting average before today's game. They were 4 for 25. 4 for 25 this year before today. And 10 of the 11 hits today have come off left-handed bats.
Ouch. Diaz looks at a strike in the outside corner. Well, it's going to be up to the bullpen today to keep this thing close. The Tigers have been clawing back. They got 3 last inning and 1 here in the 5th. And they've got to pick up Verlander today because the offense is certainly capable.
And Lord knows that many days Justin Verlander picks them up.
No doubt. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Diaz had a big spring, 458 this spring, couple of homers. He was the Rookie of the Year in the International League last year in AAA for the Tribe.
Probably would not have made the team if Chisenhall was not hurt to begin the season, but he still finds himself on the 25-man roster, even though Chisenhall has come back. They sent Tyler Naquin back to the minor leagues, and he finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting last year. Tyler Naquin.
I was kind of surprised, but
man, what have you done for me lately? 2 weeks into the season, and they've given up on him.
Of course, they had the Jason Kipnis injury as well, which has forced Ramirez to go to second base.
And Kipnis had a setback too on a rehab assignment. He was hit by a pitch and missed a few games.
1-2 on Yandy Diaz. Indians raced out to a 7-0 lead on the power of 3 home runs. Now the 1-2. Wouldn't chase. 2-2. Green, the last pitch down the 13th against Minnesota on the last homestand. 2 scoreless innings. No hits. Walked 1. Low. Now the count has gone 3-2. The 2 runners aboard are the property of Verlander, who goes 4 + 2 batters today. Here's the 3-2. He walked in ball 4. He was ahead in the count and ends up walking Diaz. Now they're loaded. That'll bring up Almonte. Red letting the defense know where they want him to play. They're in a couple of steps up the middle. They're in tight at the corners. Here's Almonte. Single, ground out. And ball 1. Now McCann out to the mound. Ramirez at third, Chisenhall at second, and Diaz at first. Almonte is 1 for 5 in the series. Here's the 1-0. Ooh, 2-0 way inside. And it's becoming more and more dangerous now. And all Verlander can do is look on. Tigers today have been out hit 11-6. Here's the 2-0. Swinging ground ball to first. Cabrera, he's going to come home. There's one there, and that's all they get. They force out at home plate. 1 gone with the bases loaded. That'll bring up Yan Gomes. That's a start.
It's a nice job here by Miguel. And really taking his time with the bases loaded, making sure that he gave McCann a really nice firm feed that was accurate. Not worrying about trying to get it to him too quick to turn a double play there.
So here is the number 9 hitter Gomes, a strikeout and a flyout. Infield backing up the middle now. They can turn 2 here and get out of this inning. Way outside. Good pick up there by McCann on the backhand. Tigers pitching has not had a clean inning yet. They gave up a bunch of runs early, double in the 4th. Now bases loaded here in the 5th. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike on Yan Gomes.
And Shane Green looking for a ground ball off the bat of Gomes here. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Tigers bullpen ERA so far this year is almost 7.
Ooh.
6.96. And they're going to be leaned on today to get them through the rest of this game and keep it close. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Gomes.
Green took a little bit off this breaking ball here. Threw a lot slower than he normally does. 83 miles an hour. He's got a 95-mile-per-hour fastball to go along with those slow breaking balls.
Fouled away. Just a couple of years ago, the Gomes won a Silver Slugger. In 2014, he hit 21 home runs. Injuries have slowed him recently. And he's got the bases loaded here with 1 out. Ooh, McCann, another really good pickup.
They've had guys on the base pass all day long.
They stranded 12 in the ball game last night, and it would have been more had Chisenhall not hit that grand slam late. Ooh, he fouled it off. Came inside on Gomes.
Good fastball there by Green at 95. Everything else for the most part has been breaking balls, fastballs away from Yan. He fooled him badly for the first strike of this pitch sequence on one of those slow breaking balls. If he decides to throw that pitch again, he needs to make sure that he kind of gets it away from him where it's down, and if he does make contact, he hits it on the ground. Still looking for that ground ball to get out of this inning.
176 wrist for the Indians. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Ooh, and he located that breaking ball in the area where he could not get to it.
2 gone.
He started him off with this same breaking ball, and he was able to finish him off with the exact same breaking ball in the same exact location. Still got one more huge out to get.
Carlos Santana will come strolling in.
He does his best work in these situations, bases loaded. More so than any other situation he puts himself in.
Santana double and a homer already in this game. 2 for 3. Rolled foul, 0-1. Green came out of the bullpen, walked the first man he faced, Diaz. That loaded the bases, but he has settled in now. Ground ball, and Gomes a strikeout. Indians got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Here's the 0-1. Line drive, base hit, right field. Chisenhall scores. Diaz coming around. He's going to score. Santana caught in a rundown now. Here's a throw to the plate. And the tag at third to get the final out of the inning. El Monte caught coming down the line, but a big 2-out, 2-run single by Carlos Santana.
A huge lead in this game, largely in part to the home run ball. A 3-run shot in the first by Jose Ramirez, a 2-run shot in the second by Carlos Santana, and Lonnie Chisenhall also plays long ball for the 3rd consecutive day. The Tigers got on the board on a J-up home run, his 2nd of the year.
Well, a big 2-out hit for Santana makes it 9-4 now. Kluber goes back to work after 5 innings. He's allowed 4 earned runs, 8 strikeouts in this game. And he'll face Victor Martinez here in the 6th.
And to Kluber's credit, he has not given a free pass to any of the Tigers hitters.
Martinez, Upton, Collins here in the 6th inning.
And Victor scored. And back in the 4th on the Justin Upton homer.
Here's the 0-1.
Ooh, good breaking ball there thrown by Kluber.
Kluber was as good as we've seen him through 3 innings, but in the 4th, Tigers got it for 2, and then 1 more in the 5th. The 0-2. Upton on deck. Playing to pull against Victor. Pulled on the ground. Diving stop at first base. Encarnacion, and Kluber covers.
What a play by a guy that normally doesn't even play first base. He's a DH. 1 step and a dive. Tremendous play by Encarnacion. He falls to the seat of his pants and he throws the baseball to Corey Kluber from the seat of his pants.
Well, 1 out.
That's just highway robbery.
Here is Justin Upton. Jay up with a couple of extra base hits, double and a homer in this game today. Who was your selection for pick the stick?
I took Romine today. No one took Justin Upton today.
A lot of points being left on the table.
A lot of points left on the table today.
Hey, Menards brings you the big money encounter. The Tigers now have homered in 11 consecutive games to start the season. Last 10 years, only Tampa has done it more, 12 straight games. Off the edge, 2-0. Funny how the game turns, man. They just could not sniff Kluber through 3 innings. Now some hard hit balls. Another one there by Martinez that he was robbed on. There's a ball inside and high, and the count goes to 3-0 on Upton.
Verlander was charged with 9 earned runs this afternoon, which is a new career high. 9 earned runs.
He had 8 5 times prior to today.
He had gone 20 consecutive starts not giving up more than 3 earned runs in a game.
That's right.
20 consecutive starts not giving up more than 3 earned runs, and he gives up a 9 spot today.
Strike again. Upton thought he had a walk. 3-2.
As a matter of fact, if you weren't with us earlier, I told you that the last 3 times in a game where Verlander's given up more than 5 runs in a game, counting today, which makes it 4, they've all been to the Cleveland Indians.
Here's the 3-2. Upton fouls it back out of play.
I would ask my buddy down there, who is the hitting coach for the Tribe, if they've got something on Verlander, but he wouldn't tell me.
Tyrus?
Yeah, Tyrus wouldn't tell me. But he's got him swinging the bat well against Justin most of the time.
Ty Van Berkeley. Yeah, Verlander came in 19-21 lifetime against the Tribe with an ERA 4.48. Well, that's going to jump today after the 9 spot. And he walked in, ball 4. Upton on base for the 3rd time. His first walk of the afternoon. Bring up Tyler Collins. Well, after falling behind 7-0, Tigers battled back. They're going to have to do it again. They're down 9-4 now.
And not only are they going to have to battle back against Kluber, they're going to have to beat Andrew Miller. They're going to have to beat Cody Allen. They're going to have to see the Cleveland Indians' best pitchers here today.
I was trying to avoid bringing that up, but it is the truth.
It's the truth.
Single fly out for Collins, base hit in the 4th. One. Collins very quietly now has strung together a 7-game hitting streak. He extended that with his base hit in the 4th. Checked it low and in. 2-1. Nine runs, 12 hits, Cleveland. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Tigers. Cleveland has scored in every inning but the 4th. Two and 2.
Nice crowd here today. It's good to see for the city of Cleveland finally getting behind their baseball team.
Cavaliers played downtown here as well today in the NBA playoffs.
A lot of fans downtown today. How about Detroit? And they got 4 major sports teams in the matter of a couple of blocks in downtown Detroit.
There's a base hit to right field. And so Collins has his 2nd hit.
Everybody's going to be downtown.
Well, Saturday, April 29th, the Tigers host the White Sox in 110. It's on-field photo day. Prior to the game, fans get to take photos of their favorite Tigers players at the Comerica Park Field. For tickets, visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER.
I've heard that there's been a request that you get down to the field this year so they can take some photos of you. Some of your fans.
Someone is a liar pants. Here's James McCann. Well, long ball here, and it's right back into it for the Tigers. Ooh, double duty today.
They're a little worn out too.
It looks like it. Looks like they had fun at the queue.
Yeah, they're running on fumes right now. Did Trev make it over there?
Trev, did you get down to the Cavs game?
No, but I'm staring over at Quicken Loans Arena right now, right across the way, and thinking maybe I could have taken in a little bit of that game. The Cavs ended up winning by 1 over the Pacers in game 1 of that series. Brandon Geyer told me yesterday everybody in that clubhouse is pulling for the Cavs. Obviously, they've all got a vested interest, and certainly they helped boost the spirits of Cleveland last year, running to that NBA title and the Tribe making it all the way to the World Series. They would love to duplicate both again, only with the Tribe coming out on the good end of things in the World Series this time if they can get there, Mario.
Yeah, it was really electric downtown last year when the Cavs won it.
The Cavaliers really supported the Cleveland Indians when they were on their World Series run as well. LeBron and a bunch of his teammates came to just about every home game against the Chicago Cubs.
Popped him up. Middle of the infield. It's going to be Lindor to the grass. McCann is out. 2 away, and here's the guy you talked about, Brad.
Yeah, this is the guy that we did not want to see. Many people believe that he is the best reliever in all of baseball, but I'm still going with that cat in Baltimore, Zach Britton. I think Britton's getting a raw deal. Miller's good, but he's not better than Zach Britton.
Miller has been used, at least by Terry Francona, in a lot of different spots. Certainly he could close.
He can pitch 2 innings, too, on most days.
You are correct about Zach Britton, though, man. He had himself a year last year.
Dude, he is so nasty. He's got a 97-mile-per-hour turbo sinker that no one can hit.
Here's Romine. Popped up. Shallow left field, Lindor. And the Tigers are going to strand 2. No runs, a hit, a walk. Here comes the bottom of the 6th. And the Tigers have gone to the bullpen again. It's another Wallside Windows pitching change. Aníbal Sanchez coming out of the pen.
Aníbal's given up 7 earned runs in the 3 games that he has appeared in. He needs to not only find that consistent arm slot that he's been throwing from the latter part of spring training, but he has to find a way to keep the ball down in the strike zone and keep the ball in the yard. Gave up a couple of homers the last time he was out there.
And don't forget, following the broadcast here today, Trevor Thompson working the Tigers clubhouse. He'll have all the post-game reaction from the Coliseum Studios. Tigers live post-game will be coming your way. And here we go now to the bottom of the 6th. It's going to be 2, 3, and 4 facing Sanchez. Francisco Lindor leads it off. 2 out of 3 for Lindor, 2 singles and a ground out. And Sanchez misses low, 1 ball and no strikes. Aníbal definitely and desperately needs a good outing here this afternoon. He was on the brink in spring training, perhaps, of not coming with the ball club, and I don't know if the Tigers had plans that he not turn things around late in spring training. But Sanchez really scuffled in his last appearance, allowing 6 runs in 1 1/3. That ball hit in the air to right field. It's going to be playable for Collins.
He gave up a couple of home runs against the Minnesota Twins the last time he was out there. He gave up 1 to Max Kepler and the other to Miguel Sano.
Here's Michael Brantley. He is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That ball that Sano hit.
Oh my goodness.
Took out a few bushes out in center field.
440 feet from home plate, basically on the line, that ball he hit that day. He's a strong man.
Brantley 1 homer this year, 6 RBIs. Right back up the middle into center field, right by Sanchez, who couldn't get the glove down. Mickey's here, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's Michael's dad, Mickey Brantley, who played in the big leagues.
Mickey was also a major league hitting coach too, so he's been in the game.
Mickey was on one of the Tucson teams that I broadcasted in the minor leagues in the 90s. Man, he tore up the PCL back then. Had played in the big leagues at that point already. Encarnacion stands in. A couple of strikeouts in this game and a fly ball for Encarnacion. The Tribe now with 13 hits in the ball game. Sanchez a close eye on Brantley. 9-4 Indians lead. We're in the 6th. Line drive to left, base hit. That'll move Brantley up. Encarnacion's first hit of the afternoon.
They told us from an offensive standpoint this Cleveland Indians team was struggling before we got here. They scored 6 runs last night, 9 more already today, and 14 hits today.
Yeah, well, they struggled most of the night last night until the final couple of innings, and they poured it on today.
Base runners in every single inning.
Here is Ramirez, and all he's done today is 3 for 3 with a homer.
Can't get him out.
Average up to 325. Ball 1. Verlander went 4 plus 2 batters in this game. Shane Green came out in the 5th, and out Sanchez here in the 6th. The 9 earned runs allowed by Verlander, a career high. in today's game. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 on Ramirez.
Anibal Sanchez not close on the 3 pitches to Ramirez here in the 6th.
He'll take it's a strike. Sanchez appeared in 7 games, 3 starts during spring training. ERA of 0.50 over his last 4 outings. But that has not translated to good outings here in the regular season. Now the 3-1. Fouled away 3-2. Tigers today doubled up in the hit column, 14-7. Just off the plate. That'll be ball 4. That's going to load the bases up again. Fans, join us tomorrow. Tigers taking on the Indians to finish up this 3-game series on Easter Sunday. All your coverage begins with Tigers Live at noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Chisenhall came to the plate last night with the bases loaded and hit a grand slam. He's hit a 2-run home run already here today.
He's also singled in the game. Everybody in the lineup has at least 1 hit today for Cleveland, with the exception of Yan Gomes, their number 9 hitter.
Lonnie Chisenhall playing center field these days. His 3rd game in center field today.
He made that transition from 3rd to right.
Yep.
Now center. The 0-1. Popped up middle of the infield. Infield fly rule. Chisenhall automatically out. Runners will hold 2 away. And they'll bring up Yandy Diaz. He has scored twice today, single walk and 2 runs. He's walked a couple of times in the series. And a bouncing ball to first base. There is Cabrera. He's going to tag the bag for the out to retire the side. As we go to the top of the 7th, have your party in an upcoming Tigers game. Party suites and party areas are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more receive discounted tickets. Visit tigers.com/groups or call 313-471-BALL for more information.
Looks like that's the place to be.
We got to check that out on the new homestand or the next homestand.
Might as well.
Well, here come the Tigers now. As we go to the 7th inning, it'll be Iglesias to get things started. Iggy had a double in his last at bat. Slices this one to center field, and it's going to be caught by Chisenhall. 1 pitch, 1 out. Miller is still warming up in their bullpen. Kluber answering the bell here in the 7th. There's Andrew, and Kluber now 2 away from 100 in the pitch count. Kinsler is 0 for 3.
Terry Francona not chancing anything in this game, is he?
You can tell he wants it.
5-run lead, and he got his best reliever up.
Kinsler backs out of there, 1-0.
That's something that Kluber really hasn't done a whole lot of today. Really has not pitched inside aggressively. That's one of the few pitches that he has thrown inside with a fastball.
2-0. Kluber gave up the 2-run shot to Upton in the 4th. RBI singles to Castellanos and Martinez as well. Two balls and 1 strike. Actually, that Castellanos was a ground out, wasn't it? That wasn't a base hit. In the 5th?
Yes.
Yes. Ball high, 3-1.
But he got an RBI, though.
Right. I gave him a single. I tried to sneak him one.
Yeah, you did. Do you have him today?
No, I don't. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and he walked him. So Kluber gives up a 1-out walk.
He must have been trying to help out John Keating then.
Is that who has him?
Yeah, Keating had him.
New third baseman is Michael Martinez. He takes over for Yandy Diaz.
Super utility player, Martinez. Play everywhere on the diamond. Seems like every team has one of those guys. Andrew Romine fills that role for the Tigers, although Romine's been getting consistent reps in center field.
Martinez is also a part-time pitcher. He threw an inning a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And they ran out of bullpen arms.
Getting beat up by the White Sox.
Castellanos an RBI. Strikeout in the first strikeout of the 4th. The RBI came in the 5th on a ground ball. 0 for 3. Here's the 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kluber threw 109 pitches in his first start. That was at Texas on April 3rd, so he's approaching that. Low ball 2. Cabrera waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1. Soft line drive, base hit, right center field. Castellanos aboard, and the Tigers have 2 men on now. Only 1 out. It's going to be it. So Kluber will depart this game here in the 7th. And they'll turn things over to the bullpen. Andrew Miller will come in and say wall side windows pitching change here in Cleveland. We'll be back. Now Tigers trail 9-4. It's going to be the former Tiger Andrew Miller coming out of the pen.
Miller is just a two-pitch pitcher. He's got a fastball that gets up into the mid-90s, and he's also got an unhittable slider. Last season, Miller punched out 123 batters. He punched out 44% of the batters he faced a season ago. He was dominant.
His strikeout to walk ratio last year was about 13.5 to 1. But there is some history here, and Miguel Cabrera is 3 for 5 against him. Two on and 1 out. We're in the 7th. 9-4. Miggy drives one to left center field. That ball is going to get down. It's going to go all the way just about to the warning track. Score 1 run, and Cabrera has himself an RBI hit.
That is a nice job by Chisenhall in center field, getting over to cut that baseball off, preventing Miguel Cabrera from hitting a double there. He jumps on that fastball at 94, hits an absolute seed to left center field, but Chisenhall did a nice job getting there, preventing Miggy from getting 2 RBIs there. It's a nice job of cutting that baseball off. Miguel starting to heat up a little bit. He was swinging through a lot of fastballs early in the season. That's not the case anymore.
Single double RBI for Miggy in the ballgame today. Here is Victor Martinez. And Vimard looks at a strike.
Miller used to be a guy that really struggled with his control, his command. And then he went to Boston, and they basically took away his windup. He pitches exclusively from the stretch, and all he does is slide his front foot forward. He doesn't really even pick it up, just slides it forward. And that has given him much, much better command in the strike zone. When they went to this new delivery, his entire career changed.
Tigers has him at a starter as early on in his career when they drafted him. But the bullpen is where he has found a home.
He is one of the best in the game. Take a look at the delivery here. Doesn't even pick it up. Just kind of slides home. Keeps the arm still. Not a lot of moving parts these days for Andrew Miller. Do it, Victor.
Oh, a line drive at first. How about Encarnacion?
Ooh.
That's the second good play he's made in this game, both against Martinez.
I believe this one just found him now.
Think so?
Yeah, this one found him. Victor looking at him. What are you doing? Slide step. Bullet right at Encarnacion.
It's a big out there. That makes it 9-6.
Huge out.
And it would have brought the tying run to the plate in Upton. Big day for Justin Upton. Double homer walk. 2 RBIs. Strike 1. One for 13 career against Miller. It curls outside and low.
Andrew Miller also pitched for the United States team in the World Baseball Classic. Had 1 Rocky outing, his very first outing. Gave up 4 runs. Then after that, he pitched awfully well.
Man, 1-2.
It's a wicked breaking ball at 82 miles an hour.
Castellanos at third, Cabrera at first. Here's the 1-2. Little number off the end of the bat. Miller can't make the play, and the run will score. Tigers get a break there.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Now it's 9-6.
Right off the end of the bat, Andrew Miller got over there, tried to pick it up, and also tagged Jay up as he ran by, and he forgot to pick up the baseball. Justin Upton doing it all today.
Miller looked awkward, falling down to the ground. So all of a sudden it's a 3-run game now. 2 runs here in the 7th.
That run charged to Corey Kluber.
Mikey Matuk for Tyler Collins here. There's a base hit to left field. They're going to hold the runner at third base. Cabrera stops there. And Matuk now has singled to load the bases.
That's a wise decision there by Dave Clark, third base coach, with Miguel Cabrera running from second base. Michael Brantley doesn't have the strongest arm in left field, but he gets to the ball rather quickly, and he's got a really good release, and he's very accurate. Dave Clark put both hands up right away for Miguel to stop on third base. He would have been out. Tigers in business.
Here is the 8th man to bat in the inning. It'll be James McCann.
Tigers coming back in this game today in the same fashion that the Cleveland Indians tried to come back in last night's game.
Tigers now have 11 hits of their own, and McCann couldn't hold up 0-1. At one point, this was a 7-0 game early as the Indians hit 3 home runs in the first 3 innings. Now 0-2 on McCann.
Who would have thought, partner, in a game where you have Justin Verlander starting for the Tigers and you have Corey Kluber starting for the Cleveland Indians, 2 of the best right-handers in the game, they would give up a combined 15 earned runs.
Man.
6 earned runs for Corey Kluber, who looked unhittable in this game early.
And Miller now has given up 3 hits since coming on, and it could have been 4 had it not been for the play by Encarnacion.
And he's supposed to be unhittable.
Right. Absolutely. 25 hits between the 2 teams. Tying runs on the bases right now for the Tigers.
This game is far from being over. Far from being over.
Here's the 0-2. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Alex Wilson in the Tigers pen.
Everyday Alex.
Miller ahead 0-2. McCann 0 for 3 in this game. Soft line drive caught by the second baseman Ramirez. Tigers settled for 2, and they will leave the bases loaded. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Day. 70 years now since Jackie broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball, and what a career Jackie had. His implications go beyond the diamond, though, Rod. You got to talk about what he has meant to society as well.
No question about that. He's the main reason why there are so many that got the opportunity to play in baseball and do other things in the game of baseball.
Number 42 retired, although every day on Jackie Robinson Day, every team will wear the number 42.
It used to be where just a handful of players on every team had a chance to wear number 42, but now every single player and the umpires all wear 42. They even gave us a number 42 today to put on our suits.
There's a swing and a miss by Almonte. Bases as well. 9-6 is our score. Tigers trail by 3. He did not go on the check swing. They loaded the bases against Sanchez with only 1 out in the 6th, but failed to score. That kept it close.
You have to love the fight the Tigers have in this game. At one point in time, they were trailing by 7 runs in the 3rd inning.
Everybody has at least one, with the exception of Gomes. A couple of 3-hit games mixed in there. Martinez was a defensive replacement. So every starter today, with the exception of Gomes, with a base hit. Here's the 2-2. Fouled away again. Almonte, then Gomes, then Santana. We're in the bottom of the 7th here in Cleveland. Verlander started, then Green, and then Sanchez. Sanchez in the 6th. Here's the 2-2. It'll pop up middle of the infield for Iglesias. One gone. We check in now with Trevor Thompson.
Mario, you're talking about Jackie Robinson Day, and of course you want to bring it back to Larry Doby, who first broke the color barrier in the American League with the Indians. Well, last fall during the playoffs, Terry Francona started the Larry Doby Youth Fund, and what they did within the Tribe's organization was raise $1 million and just donated that to 18 different local charities involved with youth programs, keeping the kids involved in sports and education and off the streets, helping them curb violence here in Cleveland. And certainly Terry Francona said that's one of the things he's most proud of in all his days involved in the game of baseball, was getting together that Larry Doby Youth Fund and donating $1 million to the youth in Cleveland area.
Boy, he should be proud of that.
No question about that. Major League Baseball in general is doing its best to try to get more players of minority backgrounds to get back into baseball. The numbers have dwindled the last number of years. They're down to about 5-6% African American players in the major leagues, and not a lot playing in the minor leagues either. But they started this thing called the Dream Series, Mario. I was out in Arizona, and they had instructors like Dave Stewart and Charles Johnson, and Jerry Manuel was a manager, LaTroy Hawkins, Marquise Grissom. They all worked with about 50 kids that they invited from all around the country, free of charge. They flew them all to Arizona. They put them all in the hotel. And for 4 straight days, they were able to get instruction from the guys that I just mentioned, guys that have had a wonderful, wonderful career in the big leagues. I met this kid there by the name of Hunter Green. He's a pitcher in Notre Dame High School in California. He has a chance to be the #1 player chosen in the country. Young African-American kid that can pitch, and he also plays shortstop. Hunter Green, listen for that name.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Gomes. You and I were talking before the game today on African Americans and the numbers, and I would have thought, because of the initiatives that Major League Baseball has had I think over the past decade now that the numbers would have increased a little bit, but they really kind of been stagnant and had not increased at all.
No, they really haven't. I mean, there's some staggering numbers regarding African Americans that are playing in the minor leagues. Just not a whole lot of them, but they continue to try to do more to get them involved, and that's the key.
Do you have any ideas on why there is such a lack?
You know, a lot of people say it has a lot to do with finances. A lot of young African American kids just don't have the resources to play travel baseball and travel around and play baseball the way some other people are able to do so. But that's okay, though. Major League Baseball is taking the initiative, as I mentioned, of making sure that everybody has the same kind of opportunity. Several academies are starting to crop up around baseball in Houston. Also, there's one in Los Angeles. They're thinking about putting another academy in Detroit, I heard.
Yeah. Well, you're right about travel baseball, though, man. That can be expensive. Is she scoring the game?
Looks like it.
Good for her.
Young lady could turn into a general manager someday. You never know. You never know.
Well, I love that, man. That is just great to see.
That's perfect.
Santana showing bunt against that shift, but he pulled it back.
Santana's had a huge day today. His batting average is up to over 230 now. 3 hits on the day. All 3 of those came against Verlander.
Santana still showing bunt. 2-0. It would not even have to be a good bunt for him to reach. With Iglesias playing deep, it's short. Tigers not budging on their defense.
No.
You can go ahead and bunt all day if you'd like. He'll swing away and sky one in the air to right field. Not deep. Mikey Matuk coming in. And Sanchez has himself a 1-2-3 7th inning. Much needed. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. There's a look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in Cleveland, where Trevor Thompson was hanging out today.
Looks like Trev got the VIP treatment when he was over there, too.
Well, he's a big timer.
Yeah, he is.
Well, Andrew Miller goes back to the mound, and he will face Romine to start things off.
Miller has started to go to a lot more breaking balls after the Tigers hit that fastball consistently than when he first came into the game.
Miller gave up 3 singles in the 7th and 2 line drive outs. 1-1 Hey, Trev, how was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame today?
Well, Maddie, the PR person down at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, held the hand of Dave and our photographer and myself, toured us through there, gave us all the ins and outs and all the behind-the-scenes info that you could ever want during our tour this afternoon. So we certainly did get VIP treatment while we were here in Cleveland at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, guys.
So you're the rock star then, Trev?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they treat you very well here in Cleveland is what I'm saying, Rod. You have rock star status, as I mentioned earlier.
Hey, Trev, what was your favorite part?
You know what? These exhibits are just so fascinating and so well thought out, and I think really when you look at the Motown exhibit, the Elvis exhibit, you know, the Who and the Rolling Stones, they're very elaborate exhibits, and you can't go wrong with any of it. I think the whole thing was impressive, but when you see handwritten notes of lyrics that some of these artists have done, and they're all captured and preserved, those kinds of things are very special, I think.
Pretty cool. Good work today.
A lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun.
That slider that Andrew Miller has started to feature here in the last couple of batters that he has faced. He started with McCann, nearly unhittable. Cody Allen now heating up in their bullpen, their closer.
Iglesias hit a ball hard to center field his first time up, has a double and a run scored in 3 at-bats. Ooh, on the outer edge. Barely. That'll get back out of play. Miller was certainly highly sought after at the trading deadline last year, and the Indians were able to acquire him.
They had to give up a lot to get him, though. They gave up some outstanding prospects that they had in their organization, guys that should have an impact for the Yankees for a number of years.
Clint Frazier, one of the names that stands out in that deal. Miller's first year with the Tigers was in 2006.
#1 draft choice out of. He didn't go to North Carolina. He signed out of high school, didn't he?
Correct.
Yep. He was headed to North Carolina.
I think. We'll double check that. Well, we know this. He's throwing strikes. Only 2 have missed the strike zone in this game. Lofted in the air to center field and caught by Chisenhall. No, he did play at Carolina.
He did go there?
Yeah, he did. He was part of that staff. I'm trying to remember who else they had on that staff.
Yeah, it was somebody that was big time.
Two up, 2 down. It's going to bring up Kinsler.
It's funny how those collegiate programs, everybody seems to have their day in the sun, whether it be LSU, whether it be Texas, whether it be North Carolina,
right,
whether it be Oregon for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to have their run. Arizona State, where they just get all the best high school prospects. Cal State Fullerton was a juggernaut for a number of years.
Yeah, remember when Phil Nevin played there?
Yes.
The 0-1 is swung on and missed.
He's got that back foot slider like Randy Johnson, like Chris Sale. They all have those long, lanky bodies. They have the long arm frames, and they just throw this pitch, and you see it coming right down the middle, and it all end up right by your back foot.
Now the 0-2. Whistled foul.
These two were teammates just a few weeks ago. Ian Kinsler,
right?
Andrew Miller. Jim Leland was the manager.
Man, was Leland happy in spring training, wasn't he?
Wasn't he, though?
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Kinsler down on strikes. Miller has a 1-2-3-8. Bottom of the 8th, 9-6 in favor of Cleveland. Don't forget MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Tigers home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast news, and more. MLB.com at bat. Get it today. Sanchez out there for his 3rd inning of work. Here's Lindor. 2 more hits today for Francisco Lindor, both singles. Sanchez loaded the bases in the 6th, but was able to pitch out of it. Then he had a 1-2-3 7th. Tigers have been out hit 14-11, trail by 3 as well in the run column. Swing and a miss. We got the name of the guys who run that pitching staff with Miller in Carolina.
Right.
Daniel Bard, who pitched here for a while.
He threw 100 miles an hour when he left college.
And a former Tiger, Luke Pekonen, was on that staff.
Big Luke.
The 1-2. Soft line drive to left. There's another hit for Lindor. A 3-hit day.
Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Carlos Carrasco will go for the Tribe tomorrow afternoon, and Dan Matthew Boyd will go for the Tigers. Boyd was outstanding in his last outing against the Minnesota Twins. Carrasco, another hard thrower. Already 14 strikeouts this season for Carrasco in 12 2/3 innings with a respectable ERA at 2.13. Power fastball, hard slider, outstanding changeup. It won't be easy tomorrow.
Michael Brantley will stand in.
It's almost like Lindor got caught off guard.
Yeah.
Caught sleeping over there when Sanchez and threw over to first base. He was spinning his wheels before he was able to get back safely. Teams like to run on Anibal Sanchez, and Lindor got good speed.
Driven to right field. That ball is hooking down the line, and it's going to be foul. Brantley knew it. He had just yanked it. Wasn't going to have home run distance, but it made that fan happy. Nineteen steals last year for Lindor. He has one this year. Brantley looks at a strike. 0-2. Fouled away. These two teams again will be playing well over 3 hours here this afternoon. Last night's game went 4 hours. And I was looking up some numbers, and you know what the average time of game is for Cleveland this year?
What is it?
3:22.
Goodness gracious.
That is the average. And that's something baseball, Major League Baseball, is just trying to curtail. The time of game, pace of play has been a big initiative.
And Terry Francona makes a lot of moves in that bullpen that he has.
That's good. Good point.
Last season, the Cleveland Indians stole 134 bases, which led the American League. They led the American League in steals last year, in large part, though, to Rajay Davis. Rajay Davis stole 43 of those, and it looks like he advised the youngster Lindor to get that oven mitt, too.
I didn't even notice it. I guess he's got one on, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got an oven mitt on, just like Rajay wore. Rajay might have left it for him.
He might have.
He wouldn't need it in Oakland. He's got him a green one out in Oakland, so he left that red one for Lindor.
Ooh, he missed. Hey, Trev, of course, a couple of key pieces missing from that team last year.
Yeah, I was talking with somebody on the Tribe side of things today, Mario, and they said that they really miss the big innings that were produced with Rajay's speed and his ability to move and collect bases. And then Mike Napoli, his presence inside the clubhouse and certainly his presence at the plate with that bat. Two key ingredients that are missing off that team this year as they continue to search for a new identity without those guys and still return to that glory they had last season.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think Rajay Davis is one of those players that is not considered by any means a superstar. Boy, he helps you win games.
He helped the Tigers win a lot of games. When he was playing for the Tigers, they were a much better team when he was in the lineup. You know, that oven mitt that Lindor has on, not only does it protect your fingers that you don't get stepped on, but there's a little bit of a device on the inside of that prevents you from breaking your wrist. I mean, your wrist has to stay still when you slide into second base. You cannot bend it. You can see that black part on the inside of it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2, and it's hit in the air to right field. Matuk all the way to the warning track. Brantley is out, one away. That'll bring up Encarnacion. Single and 4 at bats for Encarnacion. Cleveland bats waking up today. 15 hits. Tigers have 11 of their own. Lindor a couple of steps towards second, put on the brakes. And he'll draw and throw. Sanchez getting some extended work today, this being his 3rd inning of work. I didn't expect Verlander to be escorted out of the game after 4+2 batters. But the Indians got to him today.
Yeah, Verlander, pitching a lot of stress today. A lot of base runners, gave up big hits. 3 homers in a game Verlander gave up today. First time he's given up 3 homers in a game since last August against the Kansas City Royals.
Fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. By the time Encarnacion left the Blue Jays, he was 3rd all time in their home run list. Hit 42 of them last year.
He has hit over 30 home runs in each of the last 5 seasons.
Ooh, up and in. A little chin music on Encarnacion.
30 or more home runs in each of the last 5 seasons. He's the only major
guy,
league
right?
player. Only guy.
Yeah. Boy, what a lethal duo he combined with Bautista in Toronto.
The only thing you wonder is whether that power would translate into this ballpark, because obviously the Rogers Center is a very hitter-friendly ballpark in Toronto.
Swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Changeup. Good changeup. Good arm speed. Fading changeup. Located beautifully at 72.
Up and in. I don't know if Lindor's just bluffing down there. He just can't seem to get a good jump. I can't imagine that's the case.
He'll get a chance to run now. And 3-2 count.
1 out, 9-6. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Runner goes, and it's ball 4. That is a walk, and that'll put 2 men on. Sanchez has walked his second, and Brad's saying that he foul tipped that ball. Not so, says Chris Guccione. Well, they've got a big obstacle to deal with now as Jose Ramirez steps in. He's been on base 4 times in this game. They've not been able to get him out today. And he's up there with runners at first and second and 1 out. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Imperative for Sanchez here to keep this a 3-run game. The Tigers are going to have the meat of their lineup coming up. Castellanos, Cabrera, and Victor Martinez when they get to the 9th inning with Upton, if anybody gets on. Here's the 1-0. 2-0.
You've got to throw this guy a strike. He's got a pretty good eye. And very seldom does this youngster leave the strike zone.
There's the do-up for the Tigers, the 2, 3, and 4, and they'll face the closer of the Indians.
He's been pretty good here to start out the season. Cody Allen, lots of strikeouts already for Cody.
Fly ball in the air toward left center field. Romine is on the run. He's going to turn.
Oh my
and
goodness.
that ball is gone.
2 3-run home runs for this young man today. What a day. What a day.
This is unbelievable. Ramirez, a 3-run shot in the first, and now a 3-run shot here in the 8th.
1 home run went to right field. The other one to left center field, the deepest part of this ballpark. Is he that good?
Homer, single, walk, homer.
What a day.
It's 12-6. Opposite field pop for Ramirez. (12-6) Indians, and a day to remember for Ramirez. Swing and a miss by Chisenhall. He is 4 for 4 with a walk and 6 RBIs.
Career high 6 RBI.
Three-run homer to the seats in right field in his first at bat. 3-run shot to left center over that high wall in left center. Here's a 1-1. Ground ball right side out of the reach of Kinsler into right field.
Man, they got 17 hits today. 17 hits.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a season high.
The way they were swinging the bats when the Tigers got here, they were cold. They woke up last night, though.
A pair of 3-run innings in this game down for the Indians. It's Going to bring up Michael Martinez, his first at bat of the game. Took over defensively for Diaz at third earlier. Slice to left field, up and over his head. This might get another run in. Let's see. They're going to hold the runner at third, and Martinez will have a double.
Justin Upton's playing awfully shallow these days. That's exactly where they want him to play. He got fooled on this particular ball. He came in a couple of steps and the ball was hit over his head. I'm not so sure had he broke back right away he makes the play. Ball hit very hard off the bat of Martinez.
That is 18 hits now for Cleveland. There's still only one out in this inning. Again, it's astounding to sit here in the 8th inning in a 12-6 game with 29 hits and realize that Kluber and Verlander started this game.
I know, right?
So now here is Almonte. The Cleveland offense getting healthy today. Almonte is single in 4 at-bats. Chisenhall at third, Martinez at second. Bouncer back to the mound off Sanchez, can't find it. It's at his feet and he throws him out.
Nice recovery from Sanchez, but they're saying that Miggy probably was off the base. That's what they're saying.
Regardless, Chisenhall scores on the play.
I don't think Francona will challenge it up by 7 in the 9th, but you never know. They're going to challenge it.
Oh, they are.
This is just rubbing it in now.
Yeah.
Up by 7, going to challenge that.
Let's take another look.
Miggy's on the base. Or was he?
Well, I don't know, but I get your point on the challenge here, up 7. (13-6). Again, baseball trying to keep these challenges within 2 minutes of the umpires looking at the play back in New York. They're also limiting the time that managers have to decide whether or not they want a challenge. I think you might be safe here.
Miggy off for the throw beat him.
I think he beat the throw.
Beat the throw.
And sometimes a telltale sign, because Almonte didn't even move. He went right back to the bag as to say, I beat that out or I was safe. Either way.
Sandy Alomar Jr., the first base coach, also immediately pointed toward the dugout toward Terry Francona to tell him to challenge. So both he and the base runner Almonte believe he was safe at first base, not what was called.
The call on the field is out at first base. All right, here we go. What do you got? Safe. RBI infield hit for Almonte.
That is 5 hits for the Tribe in this inning against Anibal Sanchez. The biggest one, of course, the 3-run home run off the bat of Jose Ramirez.
Well, here's Yan Gomes. Could be his final shot to join the hit party. They've got 19 hits in this game, and Gomes did not have one. A 4-run 8th for the Indians to make it a 7-run game. Strike one to Gomes. 3 strikeouts and a flyout for the Indians catcher. One and one. Dude, there's still only 1 out in this inning.
I know.
That was the fly ball by Brantley.
And nobody up in the Tigers bullpen, so it's on any ball.
Jose Ramirez, a 3-run shot, his second of the game, highlighting this inning.
He can hit, man. He can just hit. I'm convinced now. And apparently they believe he can hit too. They gave him a 5-year contract after what he did last year.
Yeah, they sure did.
One of those friendly contracts, but it buys him some security for his family for the next 5 years. And the Indians also, they get the player.
Well, tough day for Yan Gomes, one of the few Indians to have a tough day. 2 gone. And now here is Santana, the 9th man at bat in the inning. Shifting on Santana. Well, the Tigers came into this inning down by 3, and they had their 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up in the 9th. Now it's a much different game. 0-1 on Santana. Hey, Trev, did you get that one?
Had it been 2 feet more to my left.
2 feet.
I had the bare hand ready.
He wasn't going to get up off that stool and get it.
I tell you, boy, you better be having your head on a swivel right about here. I'll tell you that.
Hey, be careful.
They come in here hot. They got Tyler Collins last night.
John Keating got smoked down there a couple years ago. Be careful, especially with Santana swinging.
1 ball, 1 strike. Three for 5 for Santana with 4 RBIs. He has homered in this game. He has doubled in this game. One and 2, and Santana didn't like it. Santana came into this game just 1 for 17 at home this year, but
he's gotten well today.
Yeah, he's gotten much healthier. Bouncing ball left side, Castellanos. And that's finally going to end the inning. A big inning, though, as they score 4 more and we go to the 9th. pitching change. It'll be Cody Allen.
Cody Allen has been absolutely dominant this year. He already has 9 strikeouts. He has not walked a batter. The ERA sits at 2.45, and he has 2 saves and 2 chances. Was tremendous last year pitching in the postseason for the Cleveland Indians, and did not get nearly the credit that he deserved because Andrew Miller was getting all the credit.
Castellanos leads it off. 9th inning is underway.
Allen's got a fastball about 95, 96, and he's got an outstanding curveball. For the most part, just a 2-pitch pitcher.
Nick with an RBI and a base hit in this game. Fouled back out of play. Cody Allen was warming up when it was a 3-run game. He got hot to come into this ball game, and despite the fact that his team put up 4, he's still getting some work here. And a 7-run lead for Cleveland.
Cleveland had been losing a lot of games, so Allen has not been getting all that much work.
And the 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, and it is brought to you by Miller Lite. And the starting second baseman, Jose Ramirez, who had a breakout year a season ago, is at it again today. He homered in the first inning against Justin Verlander, batting left-handed. It was a 3-run shot, and then last half inning, an opposite field 3-run home run for Ramirez against Anibal Sanchez, a career-high 6 RBI for the young man today. I guess you can't say nothing about that blonde hair. You can't say nothing about that blonde peach fuzz on his chin. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Peach fuzz. Yes, he can. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside, Machado is hitting for Cabrera here. Career numbers on Dixon. Hasn't had an opportunity to play a whole lot so far in the early going. Bouncing ball to short. Lindor a couple of steps to his right. 2 gone.
Here is the 1-800 Call Sam call of the game, and not just this game, but every single game, and what this means. The unveiling of a statue at Dodger Stadium today for Jackie Robinson, who is being honored today and who gets honored every day this year. Everybody wearing number 42. He's got him sliding too. Probably in the home plate.
Boy, that's a great looking statue.
It's beautiful.
Man,
that's tight.
That's outstanding.
It's tight.
Tight's good, right?
Absolutely. Tight's real good. Nice, tight, splendid, boss.
Here's Jacoby Jones. You're pulling them all out today. Jones hitting for Martinez. Indians 1 out away from putting up a victory here. They lead 13-6. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Jones. Crowd to its feet. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Indians win 13-6. Now we send you to the Call Sam Studios. John Keating standing by with Tigers Live postgame.